everybody, welcome back to my 4-H Happy Place. This is Mrs. Curran, and today we are going to be making our pollinator garden journals. So there are two different ways to download this pollinator garden journal. One is if you have a two-sided printer, a printer that will print on both sides of your paper, you can print out the version for two-sided. And when it comes out, it's going to look like this, and it will have all the pages numbered on the bottom so that you can see in what order they go. You stack them in order, and then you just fold over the corners, making sure that you have it exactly where it needs to be. Then you fold it one more time the other way, just making sure you have a nice crease that's going to stay where you want it. And you have your booklet. You can color it in. There's a lot of things going on in there for you to do. And I'm going to show you how to actually bind this together in just a couple of minutes. So we'll put this aside for now. If you have a printer that only prints on one side of the page, or you just want to print on one side of the page because you want to actually make this a little more personal, more your own, you can make a garden journal that comes looking like this. So I printed out my garden journal on my printer that only prints on one side of the page, and make sure everything is right side up and in the right order. Then I do my bend again, my fold in half, and we're going to be cutting this, so we want a really good line here. So we're going to fold it one more time. Notice how when I bring it over, I make sure my corners match up, and then I slide my finger right into the middle of that fold. That's a really good way to make sure that your pages all stay together when you fold. Then you hold on to this and you smooth out each side, and then all your corners are still together nicely. Okay, so we have that like that. And now you just take your scissors and cut right down the middle on that crease line. If you don't have a big pair of scissors and you only have a little pair of scissors like this, you are not going to be able to cut through all of that paper at the same time. It'll make a big mess. So what you need to do is just to take a couple of pieces at a time and cut those, set those aside until you have them all cut. Then you make sure that you have them in the right order. You can leave them cut in a rectangle like that, like I did on the cover of my book, or you could do some little squiggly outlines on the outside. However you might want to do it, just make sure that you don't cut off the page numbers on the bottom or any of the writing. Then once you have all your pieces all your pieces cut out the way you want them, you can take 4 pieces of construction paper, or any kind of paper. I got 4 different colors of construction paper because that's how I roll. And I am going to fold these in half just like we did with the white paper. So remember, check our corners, hold on to it in the middle, slide your finger up through the middle like this, hold it tightly as you smooth out the edges. Same thing the other direction, just to make sure we have a nice line, nice on the corner, down through the middle, slide out to the edges. Now you have a booklet. So you've got your pages cut out, you take them one at a time and you glue them right onto your booklet, just like I did here. You can use liquid glue or you can use a glue stick, doesn't matter, whatever works better for you is fine. You can color with colored paper, or excuse me, with crayons or colored pencils or markers. Sharpies might be a little intense, but I think markers would be fine. Just watch out, some of the little designs on these insects and pollinators on the front are going to be kind of small, so just watch out for those. So as you've got these all in order, now we need to talk about how to bind these together. So what I did, I bound mine together with this piece of plastic strapping. So you can use the plastic strapping, you could use yarn, whatever you've got. You could use an old shoelace, whatever you've got is fine. Obviously, this wouldn't be in here yet. So what I did was, pretending this is completely gone now, I laid this down on my paper, made sure it was on my board, made sure it was very straight, exactly the way I wanted it. And I have a hammer, and I have a screw. Now a nail would also work. This is just a really long, sharp screw, and this was the easiest thing for me to grab this morning, so that's what I grabbed, but a nail would work too. Do not do this on your kitchen table. Do not do this on the floor of your house. You probably want to be out on the front step, or if there's a spot that your parents say is okay for you to do this, that would be all right there. You take your sharp screw or nail and you put it exactly where you want your hole, and you hit it a few times, and then you do the same thing a little bit further down. Now, I want you to notice something. Do you see these holes in this? These happened when I actually made the holes for this booklet. You don't want these in your floor. You don't want these in your front steps. So make sure when you're pounding, you always have a board underneath, so that when the nail goes through or the screw goes through, it doesn't go into something you don't want it in. Then you take your plastic strapping or your yarn and you put it through the hole. Now, plastic strapping, when you tie it, doesn't always want to do what you want it to do. It kind of has a mind of its own. But if you stay at it and you keep retightening whatever you had, after a while, it will do what you want it to do and stay exactly how you want it to stay. So that's my pollinator garden journal. Have fun making your own pollinator garden journal, and we'll see you next time with a lot more fun things to do. Have a great day, everybody.